Hi guys, I'm Termeyy, welcome back on my channel. Today I'll show you how to make the beat for Lost Forever by Travis Scott and Westside Gunn. This beat was made by Travis Scott, James Blake, Dominic Maker and The Alchemist. So let's begin with the breakdown. First thing, we got this sample from Jax Eric, Don't Be So Nice. They chopped the first 7 bars of this sample and they used the first 4 for the verse and the last 2 for the intro. The BPM for this beat is 91 and I use the stretch function to stretch the sample. To stretch it the right way, you just need to look at the waveform and the transient of the drums. So what you have to do is just aligning the transient to the grid. Then for the intro part, they just stretched it 8 semitones up. Then they use Melodic to stretch the last bit of the second bar to cut out the vocal. The last process they used is the format shifting. What you have to do is just put the sample in Edison and use this function here, the time stretcher pitch shifter. Then move the factor chorus knob to +8 semitones and just play with the harder knob to achieve a similar effect. So this is the final sample. For the verse, they just used the original pitch. Then we have this other sample from James Blake, Forever. It's like a response to the other sample. Talking about music theory, these are the 2 chords that you can hear in the sample. The first one is D sharp add 9. It's a D sharp minor chord with a suspended 2. And then we also have the third chord of the scale, F sharp major. In this case, we also have a 7 and a 9th, so it's a 9th chord. In the verse, to achieve a darker feeling, they're just using the first chop of the sample, so they're only using the first chord, while in the intro you can hear both. Then we have some more melodic elements. The first one is this sine whistle. I use serum with a sine wave and a noise, and as you can see, I use the filter to boost up the resonance and give a tonal effect to the noise. Then I just add some chorus, phaser, a little bit of filter. I don't think these are the right notes visually because I just use my ear to pitch the filter of the noise. Anyway, I think they're just playing the same chord, so D sharp minor. Then we have like this guitar mandolin. I don't really know because it's a really complex sound to create. It sounds really organic and acoustic. Maybe it's just a loop or a sample. I use labs with this mandolin preset and then I use the murder melodies to modify it. And they're just playing the tonic chord notes on different octaves. Then we have some glockenspiel bells playing the 5th, the suspended 2 and the 3rd. Some other bells playing the augmented 5th and 5th. And then a trumpet playing the suspended 2 and the 3rd. For the drums, I'm using a tom. Then we have a simple kick pattern. I use serum to create a really simple kick using this sine wave, a filter and this LFO set as an envelope on the chorus to achieve that classic pitch attack. And then I have a little bit of distortion and EQing. I also added some hi-hats because I can hear them in the background, but maybe they're just the hi-hats of the sample. We also have these other hi-hats at the end. And then this open hat. Then we have a really distorted 808 playing the root note on every bar, as you can see. And I use serum with a sine wave, a little bit of detune and a lot of distortion. And obviously the LFO set as an envelope to achieve this attack. I think they're also switching to a synth bass for the last part of the verse. And with this bass, they are sliding from the suspended 2 to the root note. I also use serum, 2 saw waves with a lot of detune, subsine, filter, and a lot of distortion and EQing. So this is the final result for the first part. Then for the second beat, they're switching the BPM from 91 to 89, and they're switching the scale from a D sharp minor to a C sharp minor. For the drums, we have this simple rim shot on the 2 and the 4 with a plate reverb. A really simple kick pattern. These bells in the background. A really simple bass. It's a really distorted saw bass, so I use Serum with saw waves, a subsine, filter, a lot of distortion, a little bit of reverb, EQing and a filter. And then I also applied some decapitator. They're playing the C sharp and then the F sharp, the fourth note of the scale. For the melody, it could be a sample or a loop. I'm using a lot of layers to recreate it. I have these metal bell, sirens, pianos in the background playing the D sharp in the lower octave. For the higher notes, I mainly used pianos and keys and maybe some granular sounds from Omnisphere to create ambience and atmosphere. And they're playing the third, the suspended 2 and the suspended 4. And there is also this draw note that is a suspended 2 on the higher octave. For the effects, I applied the Murdo melodies, delay and then the crystallizer. So this is the melody. And then for the root note switch, I just pitch it up by 5 semitones and 40 cents. So this is the final result for the second part. That's all for this video. Smash a like and subscribe if you liked it. I will leave all my links in the description if you want to support me. I have a Patreon page where I upload all the FLPs for my remakes, Instagram if you want to follow me, and Beatstars if you want to check out my beats or drum kits. Bye and see you in the next video.